All right, Simon Says, listen to the Screen Team because we're getting ready to review an awesome movie, probably one of the greatest movies of all time.
I like it.
We're doing Die Hard?
No, man, Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Demolition
well, you said one
Man.
of the greatest movies of all time. So
Demolition Man.
I agree with Chris. It is one of the best ever.
Come on, Stacy. All right, let's start off here. You got Stallone.
Yeah.
You got Snipes.
Yep.
You got Sandra Bullock.
You got, Dennis Leary?
I forgot Dennis Leary's in this thing,
I'm not saying
too.
it's a bad movie. I just was thinking, since you said it was one of the greatest, it was sure to be a Die Hard.
All right, maybe it's close to being one of the greatest. All right, Die Hard's up here. Demolition Man's a little lower.
You have a young Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
That's right. Rob Schneider is in this, too. Man, oh, man. Look at Doug dropping some knowledge. Demolition Man is a movie that came out in the early 1990s. It's a film that in the very beginning we find our two main leads. Stallone, he is a not by the book.
By his own book.
By his own book.
Old school cop.
I've got the book for you right here, Rip.
Yeah.
But he's trying to face down this criminal played by Wesley Snipes. And he's a bad dude. He's a bad dude.
And he dresses terribly, too.
He's got the Dennis Rodman look, doesn't he?
It was definitely the 90s.
Was it like those overalls he had on or something?
Oh, yeah. He had the jumpsuit.
So I forgot what happened, but in the very beginning, Wesley Snipes' character, he's doing something bad. He's either kidnapped a whole bunch of people and he's got them hostage, and Stallone comes in and he's like, I'm coming down with the throttle, and I'm ready to save the day, basically.
Yep.
But something doesn't go right.
Correct.
I guess he didn't know that there were hostages there.
Right. Well, they had done like some kind of heat sensor thing or something like that, and told him that there wasn't anybody in there, but there was.
And I believe the hostages, they were already dead, if I'm not mistaken. I think.
Yeah.
So I think that he had already killed the hostages. Stallone has no idea.
Yeah.
But they didn't know that, and the police didn't know that, so they charged manslaughter on Stallone's character, right?
Poor Sly.
They charged him something because that's quite a sentence he got.
Yeah.
Like, I would be irritated to be frozen for 70 years.
Oh, God.
Like, when I come out hey, listen, I don't even like it when it's 30 degrees outside, and I have the option to get warm. When I wake up from that, it's going to be bad news all the way around.
Broken jaws and broken noses.
Yeah. So as Stacy said, he's been frozen, and our next scene, we find ourselves in the future, and we find, for some reason, they got Wesley Snipes. He's on parole or something like that?
Yeah, he's getting paroled that day.
He's on parole, but Stallone isn't, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Stallone wasn't supposed to be paroled for like another 20 years or something.
This is ridiculous.
But then this one guy, and I can't think of his name for nothing, he tells them, he's like, you're fixing to parole a bad dude.
Right.
And there's only one guy who knows how to handle him.
That's right. Dun, dun, dun.
That's right. He was like the guy who used to live back in the day kind of thing.
Yeah, I think he was one of the guys in the plane that Stallone jumped out of in the beginning.
Right.
And then they thaw him out, and he was not frozen in a very comfortable position.
No, he sure wasn't.
In the Bluff.
Wasn't. Now, what's up with this future? Because this future is like a future that I hope we don't live in. I mean, it's a future where it's like.
Can you imagine
Angeles.
saying?
Yeah.
Can you imagine saying crap and like the sirens go off wherever you're at and you get a fine?
I would be broke.
They would just be like, she did it again.
Yeah.
She did it again. You know,
You can't cuss. You can't do anything. You live in a world where there's basically no real violence, no real bad things going on, and the police don't.
But
they have guns.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But there is
With what?
with Dennis Leary and his underground people.
That's right.
I mean, their crimes are kind of petty. Like, they have like those telescopes that go up, and then they can vandalize stuff. But then, like, the future that they live in, it's automatically erased. So, whenever they
crazy.
bring that group of people into it, it gets real funny.
You know, I thought it was funny. I love Dennis Leary. I love him as a comedian. I love him as an actor. But you could tell, like, with this movie, this was like released right after he got hot. You know, with his No Cure for Cancer album, because like his whole shtick was like his comedy shtick.
Yeah.
You know,
And he was talking as fast as he could.
I know.
You know, like, slow down, man, slow down. And I think probably the worst part about this future is that there's only one restaurant that survived.
And what
the
restaurant is
earthquake.
that?
Taco Bell. It's a high-end restaurant. That's
Yeah, like I just,
wow.
I mean, I can't imagine that being it.
It,
Unless you go underground, and then there's street food.
Yeah.
Literal
You're not
street
even-
food.
You're not even allowed to have real relations.
Yeah,
That's
there's
right.
no intimacy.
No intimacy
you
at
cannot
all.
exchange bodily fluids. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, this is a terrible future.
This is a horrible future. And the cars, I mean, I don't think we're too far from that at this point.
There's
but-
only one good car in that whole movie, and that's the 442. The one that was, that Sandra Bullock knew about.
Oh, yeah,
Down
yeah,
below, the red one.
yeah. Yeah.
So does this movie still hold up, guys, after
I think so.
30
I think
plus
so.
years?
And I'll tell you what, this movie is on TV all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad watches it all the time. And so I've watched it with him several times, but I had never
Seen
seen
the
the
real cut?
beginning.
Oh,
well, no, I had
okay.
never seen the beginning, so I had no idea like why Stallone wasn't aware of how the future operates.
How about
And
that
I
was a
like-
weird viewing?
I was like, what is, all these times I'm like, what is the problem here? Like, why does he act different than everybody else? And then now that I've seen the beginning of it, I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Right.
Like when he eats the burger and the beer.
They have like the,
That's a rat burger. Yeah. It's a good burger.
and then they have like the museum, and it was like the only place to get a weapon. That museum was,
And
and
they're
I was
loaded.
like,
I mean, who would
I-
leave a loaded weapon?
I told Doug, I'm like, they're worried about crime. They should have taken the firing pins out. Like, then this couldn't have happened, you
Yeah.
know?
And
But
let's just be real.
I don't know if that was like a future problem or if
It's
that
a
was just
future
a
of
direction.
pansies.
It's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's truly.
And Sandra Bullock is like fascinated with the past.
Yeah.
Like if you look at her office, it's like
It's all
homage
retro,
to, you've got the Danny Glover, Mel Gibson poster up. If you just look at just look at the little things around there and
Her
and she's-
one-liners.
Yeah,
She
and
would
she's
know.
like, she's obsessed with it. So she came at them with a lot of information about how it used to work and how
Sure.
they could catch them. And even though she wasn't alive at that time, but she just, she just knew everything about it.
Old
So,
soul.
Yeah.
So,
She was just looking for some excitement.
and she got some from Sly for sure.
Yeah.
Doug, how's the action in this film? If you're into action kind of movies, does this one do it for you?
I'd say on a scale from 1 to 10, you're probably around a good solid 8.
Okay.
So it's not what we've all come to know as a really super good action movie, but it's definitely got its action.
Yeah.
Well, because it's old school. There's no CGI. Everything's very,
Practical?
practical.
Yeah.
Practical stunts.
Stacy, if this movie comes on cable again, are you going to watch it with your dad?
For sure. I'll be a little more educated about it now.
Movie's called Demolition Man, Sly Stallone, Wesley Snipes, Sandra Bullock. You can find it on DVD or find it on cable. Coming up, we got more requests right here on the Screen Team.